Welcome to tool number 10. In this, we are supposed to understand the auditing tools. Now, before understanding the auditing tool, let's understand this very simple word auditing. Now, what do you mean by auditing? Now, if you just go to the layman and ask what is auditing, auditing simply means to check what to check. Now, this is the question, what to check. Now, auditing simply means in Excel is what is your source, right? And what is your destination. Now, if you talk about a source, let's suppose we have a data. We have some data like this and we have applied some VLOOKUP formulas. You must be pro with the VLOOKUP formulas or not. You just need to wait for my another set of codes that is based on formulas, right? Now let's suppose we have a formula which is VLOOKUP. If we talk about this VLOOKUP formula, if I just go to the formulas and there is a formula auditing group and you can find trace precedent. Now what is precedent? Precedent is simply the source. What is the source of this formula? So simply I click on this, I will be getting few things. I will be getting this value, that is employee ID. I will be used this as a value as a lookup value, and I've used this entire table. You can see it is not mentioning you over the employee ID. It is marking the entire column. It is marking the entire database. Why? You can see the blue line outline there, right? So it means the entire database is used in the precedent. Now I simply remove these arrows, right? Now if I just click on the dependents, that this particular value, can you see that this particular value is being dependent on other? Means out of using this value, we have some other results. Let me just check. No, the trace dependence command not found no formula related to active cell. It means this particular value will not be used anywhere in this particular sheet, right? Now, if we come to this particular value, do we have any precedence? Means from where this value is coming out? There is no formula out there. It means you can say the precedent will only going to work when you have a formula, right? But it will not going to work when you don't have only constant values, like you have only text without formula. It will not going to work. So let me just click on this trace precedent. We're going to have no trace precedent, right? Now when I click on this particular trace dependence, so it will going to tell me where this particular cell value will be using throughout this worksheet. So simply I click on this trace dependent. Let me just check what will going to happen. Oh my god, a lot of values, a lot of arrows out there. It means this particular value will be using all together here. It means we are finding a formula using VLOOKUP. I just simply remove these arrows. All right, now I just go to this particular value. Now I can find, you can see that there is a formula bar. You can see the lookup value. The lookup value is F2. The table array is this particular part. Means this table has been using throughout this particular two columns. Means column H will be using entire this, column I will be using entire this table. So whenever even I click on this B2, it will also going to show me the same results, right? I remove the arrows. I just click on the C2 because this entire database has been using in this particular two columns, column H and column I. Now simply click on this and I have option of trace dependent. So again, it will be clicking on all these values because it is being used as a table. It will be used as a table array. So this is very simple to understand what this audit tool is all about. Even it is better to understand from here. You can see the trace value. Let's suppose we have a value. We have a value 75. It is coming from 25 plus 50. So it is showing me the trace precedent for that. What is the precedent? 25 and 50 are the precedent for this 75 value. Now go to the dependent. Now just go to the dependent, put your cursor over there. Now you can see this 10 will be, now we have some values like 20, 30, 40, 50. Now where is this value coming from? We have this value coming from the cell and we are adding up. In fact, we are multiplying this by 2, we are multiplying by 3, we are multiplying by 4 and similarly 5. So we are using this cell value. So this cell value will be dependent for all these three values, all these 4 or 5 values. Right? So this is very simple to understand. Now take another example for your better understanding. Now to go to the advanced auditing tools, let's suppose I have these fixed data. This is the fixed data. So it means there will be no precedent, right? I will be getting no precedent, right? But even if we talk about the dependents, where this particular value will be using, I just click on this, I will be get the dependents. So this particular will be using in the interest rate. This particular loan term will be using in the down payment. So I just remove these arrows now. All right. Now taking another example. Let's suppose this is an interest rate. We have applied one formula where we'll be using this particular cell and this entire table. So again, when I click over there on this, that is cell E4 on the interest rate, I will be getting loan term, that is one of the value, and this entire table. You can see that this entire table has been marked in a blue outline, right? I can just remove that. Now if I want to check the precedent, I can check the precedent from here. Even if I don't want to check, I want to remove it, I can remove it from here. Now if I want to check the dependence on the same value, does this value will be dependent on others? Let me just check. Yes, it is. It is dependent on this calculating these two values. It is also dependent on calculating the bonus. So in this way we have two values which is single cell. So in this case we have single cell which will be contributing towards the dependents, which will be contributing towards the precedent as well. Now we have an option in the remove arrows. Whatever you want to remove, like if you want to remove the entire arrow, so just click on that. If you want to remove the precedent arrow, you can remove the precedent arrow from here. Alright, or if you want to remove the dependent arrows, you can remove the dependent arrows from here. Now it's very simple. You can remove any of these arrows. Now I'll show you one more example. Right? Let's suppose if we have this interest rate will be dependent on this bonus. Now if I just simply click on the dependent again, we're going to check whether this value will be dependent somewhere else or not. So let me just do it. If I just click on that, it will be showing me. I have clicked over this time. I'll show you one more time. Alright. Simply I just click on this interest E4 value. I check the dependence. So I have a dependent which is these two values. Alright. And particularly this bonus value. I'm not clicking on this to click on dependent. I'm just simply clicking on this again, on this cell. Click on dependents. So it will going to show me where it is dependent. Now you can see there is a formula. If I a very simple formula, it is E4 plus adding 2000, means it will be whenever the value is there, it will be adding 2000, and whenever we have no values, it will be blank. Now in this case, it is again dependent. So you can get two arrows right here. So this is again very, very important to understand the concept. Now the similar tool can work for the precedent as well, right? Let's suppose if I have this value, I have what is the precedent? This is my precedent. Again, I will going to click on that. I will be getting the precedent as this one, and this one. Again, let me just do that. This time for this particular value, we have precedent as this value and this entire table. So it is very, very useful tool. You should practice this tool because this is something that will going to give a clear idea when you got a workbook with a lot of formulas, with a lot of data. So at that particular point of time, this auditing tool will going to give you a help support, will going to assist you in finding out what is the precedent, from where this particular value will be coming from. So this is an amazing tool when you have a large database and you want to check from where the value is coming out. So use this tool and see the magics will be happening with you. Alright, see you in the next video.